What's up, guys? It's Pat here. I got my dog right back there, enjoying a little Florida sun, but I'm here to declare that I am about to do the AI Build Challenge. No team, no plan, just me and a wild challenge that I'm setting for myself using AI tools. Lately, it feels like we're living in the AI gold rush. Every week, there's a new tool, new technology. Someone is launching something and getting to like 100K MRR in like 2 weeks, and I wanna get in on it. So here's the challenge. I'm gonna try to make $100,000 using only AI tools. I have no idea how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna start with an idea and a prompt and see what happens. But before we do that, I do wanna set a few ground rules. Rule number 1 is that I can't work on anything unless I film it. No secret progress, nothing goes undocumented so that you can watch it here on this channel. Rule number 2, I can only use AI build tools. Yes, I know how to code, but I will prove you can do this without knowing how to code. Rule number 3, I will not stop until I make $100,000 or completely flop trying a bunch of different things. I'll be sharing everything right here on this channel, so please subscribe and please watch these episodes. This is episode 1. We're gonna start with the idea and see what happens. Let's go.
All right, let's get started. In this episode, I'm gonna see how far I can get by writing down my idea, trying to write down the problems it solves, what I'm gonna build, get the app working, to then see if we can make some money from this. So let's get started and let's see what happens. All right, so I have an idea and I'm gonna be as honest as possible with the idea. It came to me literally while I was sleeping last night. I was dreaming about this idea, and that's always a good sign. And sometimes I would say like, probably should go write down a bunch of stuff about the idea and how it could be successful or whatever, but this is fucking vibe coding. I'm gonna vibe code until I make 100K. I'm gonna build cool stuff and see what happens. So I'm just gonna write down quickly what the idea is gonna do, but that's about it. And I kind of wanna go in a little bit blind with this idea and just see what happens. And let's see how fast I can do this. So, all right, I like to do my docs.new. You guys know about docs.new, it's the best. That's like actual domain, docs.new, and it creates a Google Doc. I'm sure everyone knows that, and I'm just a boomer over here, but let's try it. Okay, so my 100K idea. This is something I think you can make 100K doing. Also, it could be a total fucking flop. Like, who cares? That's what we're here to build, and I want to show that it's possible, and I'm not just a YouTuber who talks about successful businesses. I show you that I can actually build this shit. So, all right, so here's my idea. YouTube thumbnail generator, where you can generate a thumbnail based on a drawing, some uploaded images, and some text. This is my idea, and I'll show you the tweet that I found this on. Oh, it's on my Twitter. So I don't love to go find business ideas based on tweets because, there's probably a bunch of other people building this already. But what got me intrigued about this is a couple things. Number 1 is the problem. I think I write 2 things. It's problem and my edge. So I like 2 things. Problem is having a great YouTube thumbnail can quite literally make or break a video and a YouTube channel, but creating them is costly. I just paid someone $50 per thumbnail, and it was pretty basic stuff, times 4 for a video. That's $200, right? Imagine I could spend less and get a better result. That would be crazy. I just paid someone $50 per thumbnail times 4 for a video. That's $200, and that's generally what we pay for videos. It also takes time. Often we'll do tons of reference shots to get the right one. I'm gonna show you right now. Here, this is for a thumbnail we're working on. Look how many these are real photos that we took. These are actual real reference shots, and we probably spent 30 minutes doing thumbnails. That's time, money, effort, right? What's my edge for this? I like to say this too, because I think if someone else were to go and create this thumbnail generator, just like if you were watching this video and you went to copy me, like why would I win over you? Or why would you win over me? I have a YouTube channel with 500,000 subscribers, and I need this tool myself. I'll be motivated to make it better than the rest. I also have an audience of people who want to create on YouTube. I know people watching this be like, oh, you have an audience. This is so much easier for you. Like, you can do this. You don't need an audience to do this, right? If I go to Lane, I don't know how big this guy is. He only has 8,400 followers. And this tweet, and I know that maybe sounds like a lot, but this tweet got 1.9 million views. Imagine if you actually had a reply in here that said, okay, try out my software. You would get 10,000 MRR literally from that. If you think about conversion rates on that, right? Fucking crazy, right? This is what's changed in this world. Like, you gotta get building now, because you can have a smaller account. Maybe he had 5,000 followers when he tweeted this, and you can get 2 million views. This is the one time in history where this may be possible. Start building. I'm going to link to the AI Build Accelerator right now in the description if you want to build something like this in 12 days. Shameless plug. This is Starter Story Build, and you can go to our app accelerator right here. And in 12 days, you can build a real app using AI, using only AI tools like this, the one I'm using here. But I want to prove that it's possible, so you can go and do it too. Anyways, okay, let's go back. This is my idea, and I call this like the one pager, right? This is, if I spend 5 minutes just writing down my idea and just some of the ideas of what it could do, then I'm gonna feel more motivated to get it done. Look, anybody can probably create this tool, but when you get to the end and you got to fix those bugs and you have customer support and you have all these things, are you going to be as motivated to do this if you don't actually experience the same problem? This is why copycats never work, right? Look, there's a lot of ways to approach this, helping people create thumbnails. What I think is cool about this is just a small widget toy app, almost like a proof of concept. It only needs to be useful. And I think that that's cool. That's like the idea of like micro SaaS, right? Here are the features I'm going to build. And this is helpful to put together because now I know what I'm going to launch with and I don't have to question that. So one page feature that allows you to draw the thumbnail, upload some reference shots, and write a prompt. It results in 5 thumbnails that are YouTube ready. Look, I could do more. I was like, oh, you can go and prompt it again to get more ideas. F that. Like, let's just get the proof of concept going, and that's it, okay? Then I'm also gonna put a Stripe payment link or checkout link to validate that people will pay for this. And some people might not like this, but I'm not gonna allow any free thumbnails. Maybe I'll change that, but I don't wanna lose money on a bunch of people just trying it out. I'm gonna have like a free to sort of try. Maybe you can get one, but not all of them. You could, there's a lot of ways you could approach it, right? You could do like, oh, they get a low res one and not the high res one. Like all these sort of things don't really matter. The best way to do it is I just wanna put a Stripe payment link on it and see if somebody pays for it. And if they do, then I can explore other ways of monetizing and that sort of thing. But the simplest way, the one line of code type of way of doing things will be to ask for payment upfront before they can actually use, or before I lose money by hitting OpenAI's app or API. So how much will I charge? I'm gonna charge $5 a month. I wanna make it like, so I will raise this price. But let's just try $5 a month. It's a simple toy app. And thumbnails are like that cool little thing. It's like, okay, if this is $200 for one video and I could do $5 a month, and plus my team is gonna love this too, then I don't have to hire designers and to do that whole headache, right? All right, I'm probably missing a bunch of stuff here, but I feel like this is cool. And like the other thing I'll say is like, you see, we have this video with Nico on our channel I just love talking to founders and like hearing what works for them and not. Well, go watch this video. It's awesome. He built 17 apps and sold 2 of them for $265,000. He locked himself in a room, taught himself how to code. And one of his like biggest lessons, which I think is like, probably people will overlook it because they're looking for the growth strategies or the tactics or whatever. His was to set himself a hard deadline, saying like, I need to launch this by the end of the day or the end of the week or else. So I'm going to set myself a hard deadline of launch in 4 hours. I think I can actually do it faster. We're gonna be doing this with Cursor and from scratch, so you guys get to follow along. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. We need a name. Duh, name. You don't have to have a name when you start, but I like to have a name and a domain name. Maybe it would be cool if we did, like, I like to do like a domain name. What are people actually searching? So let's go to create thumbnail, generate clickable thumbnails with AI thumbnail maker, free AI thumbnail maker. I want to make free AI thumbnail maker.com. Let's see if that exists. Okay, so if someone searches free, so this is my mode of thinking for this. If I search free thumbnail maker, then Google will like if my domain is the same as the query, if that makes sense. So I'll say free AI thumbnailmaker.com. It's available. Wow, okay. Let's try, this is crazy, AIthumbnailmaker.com. It's not actually free, right? We're gonna make it cost money. So we gotta do something that's actually real with it. Let's search, I like AI Thumbnail Maker. I don't love AI because eventually people won't even care that it's AI. It's just something that makes thumbnails for you, right? That's like thinking long term a little bit. So maybe thumbnail creator.com. 2,800. That's too expensive. 16. AI thumbnails maker. I like that one. I'm going to buy it. Let's buy it. I don't know what C means. I think I'm in Canada or something. Okay. Confirm order. Domain registration. Hey guys, we're doing the thing we're not supposed to do, which is buy a domain first, but screw it. AIthumbnailsmaker.com. 1 year subscription. I can afford a $16. Oh, that's Canadian. I don't know why they're charging me in Canadian. They think I'm in Canada. But anyways, I just want to buy the domain now so I don't forget it later and this video gets published and then someone steals my domain name. So it's purchased. And okay, we have our domain name. Okay. Name, AI Thumbnails Maker. I know, it's very clever. This is exciting. We have a business idea built on a simple premise, a single feature. I like to call this a pointy feature, right? It just does one thing. It's only gonna do one thing. That's gonna make it really easy for me to launch this and maybe get a few hundred people to use it, get a bunch of feedback on it, make it better, see if people are willing to pay for it. I could do it in 4 hours and I got a name for it. I got a domain name, and now let's start building. Okay, this is the part that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna go through the whole process of building this with Cursor. It's been a while since I created a project, but let's try it. I got Cursor here, and I wanna start it totally fresh. So I'm seeing a couple things here, but I don't actually know what to do right now. Do I open a new project or I don't know. So I'm just gonna go to ChatGPT and ask it, and this is like how anybody, if you want to build anything and you just don't like know exactly where to start, go to ChatGPT and just ask. So I'm about to create a project and I'm going to use Ruby on Rails because I know that and I know it'll be good for a little project like this. I'm going to create a project with Ruby on Rails, but I want to do it with Cursor. I don't have a repo or anything set up yet. I downloaded Cursor, but it's asking me to open a project. So what do I do next? Okay. You're gonna love Cursor for Rails dev. It's slick. Step-by-step start a project and Rails new my project name. Oh, and I'm gonna stop it real quick and I say, I wanna deploy it. Oh, before you keep going, I want to get it live on a real server so anybody can visit it. And I want to do that right away, right when I start it, because I don't want to develop it locally. This is like more just like a software engineer perspective from what learning to code. I want to get it deployed live first so I don't have to worry about the headache that causes later. Okay, create a Rails app. Okay, we're going to start Rails new my app. This is what we're going to do. So I'm just going to copy this. Well, I'm going to change it because I need to give it a name. So what do I do here? In your terminal. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go into, it's asking me to go into the terminal. So I'm gonna pull up terminal and I'm gonna do Rails new. Well, first I'm gonna go to my code repository, CD code. You don't have to do this, but I'm gonna do it because it's just an organization thing in my computer. And I'm gonna do Rails new my app database PostgreSQL. We're gonna call it Rails new AI thumbnails maker. Okay, I ran that and now it's running things. And this is where everything usually goes wrong, but that's okay. Seems to be working so far. And then I'm gonna CD into it, which is just basically going into that folder. So I called it CD AI thumbnails maker. Yeah, I'm in there, okay. Then it's saying to create a Git repository. Literally just copy and paste this stuff. And it's not that important yet, but we will learn about why this is important, but you don't need to know it you don't even know how to code to do it. Okay, it's done. I just copied and pasted it all. Okay, in Cursor, click open project and select the folder my Rails app. Okay, let's do that. It's in my code folder and there it is right there. So I'm gonna open that and boom, we have a code repository. This is, look, I think the Lovable app is cool, but I think that this is more of a better long-term solution. Even if you don't know how to code, I'm gonna show you how to use this without knowing how to code. It also doesn't charge you. I think the pricing is probably better on this too. So it's worth learning, I think. Okay, now you're in business. Cursor will index the Rails app and give you AI superpowers. Nice. Okay, let's set up the Heroku first. Brew tap Heroku and brew install Heroku. That's already done on my app, so you can do that, but I don't have to do that. I'm already logged in, so now I'm just gonna create my app. I already use Heroku, so it's easy, but I'm gonna pull up the terminal here and I'm gonna do Rails Heroku create AI thumbnails maker. It seems to like the dashes, so I'm gonna stick with that. Okay, that was easier than I thought. Step 4, prep for Heroku. Add a proc file in the root of the app. Okay, here's a good example of, I would know how to do this because I know how to code, But also I realized that someone watching this may be like, okay, what does that actually mean? Add a proc file. Can you explain how to do this? Right click the top level. So this is explaining, I know how to do this because these are like buzzwords, but if you don't know, just ChatGPT it. In Cursor, right click the top level folder of your app. You should see folders like app and config. Create a new file, proc file, okay? Inside the file, paste this line. So I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it. Cool. And I click save, I'm just hitting save. Cool, I did that. All right, so now let's go back to the step-by-step. What I like about ChatGPT is it gives you this very, very simple step-by-step. In gem file, make sure you add this in production group. Gem file, okay. This is, if I do Command T in Cursor, I can type gem file, and I wanna make sure that these gems are in there. Again, if you don't understand what they're asking for here, then you can just go and ask ChatGPT what they're talking about and ask for more info. I think it's cool to ask ChatGPT about like why it's doing certain things and to explain them to you as who you are. Maybe you're not a software engineer, and even though it may take longer to do it, it will help you in the long run. And that's the big pain with these AI tools is, yeah, you can get started and you can create things easily, but when you need to make changes, you could run into a bug that sends you down a rabbit hole of 2 weeks, right? If you do take things a little bit slower, which I'm gonna, again, shill the AI build accelerator, which is over the course of 12 days, you build an app and you take it maybe a little bit slower, but you learn about important things like auth, databases. This is what I think is gonna change the world. If people can approach AI tools like a little bit more like a software developer, a little bit more thinking, setting things up for success. So for example, we have the initial setup where for the whole day, but for that specific day, you create a bunch of documentation about your product, about your project that allows you to more easily prompt the AI and have it do what you want. If you don't do this, you might fail with building with AI tools as they exist right now. This is just one of those things that has to be done right now to kind of MacGyver these AI tools. Anyways, so I'm gonna make sure that this gem it wants. So Rails 12 factor, let me see, I will just search this. Is it here? No, it's not. So make sure you add them in the production group, the regular group. So I'll just add it here, okay? Then I do bundle install. And look, man, if you learn this stuff, you can do anything. It's pretty cool. Okay, let's deploy to Heroku. What this basically means is we're gonna take our Hello World app and just see if it actually works. And actually, we didn't even start it. So I wanna get it to work locally first. So I'm actually gonna ask it. Before we deploy to Heroku, I want to get this working locally. And I'll explain this too. Okay, so it's saying in your app folder, run bundle install. We just ran that. So we need to do DB setup. What that's doing is setting up the database. Every app needs a database basically. So we're gonna run this and see what happens. Okay, it looks like it wants us to do a bin Rails DB migrate. So we're gonna do that too. And that worked, I think. Cool, okay. Now let's start the server. Do bin Rails server. Let's see if it works. And that says it's working. And basically if you just read, sometimes it's just important to just read things. Like you can, what I like to do too is just, let's paste this into ChatGPT. I started the server and this is what it said. Like, I don't really know what this is telling me, but I can ask Chat. That means that everything is working. Yes. And your app is running locally at localhost 3000. So hopefully this isn't your first time hearing about what localhost is, but this is basically a way to test your app, that your app actually works locally. This is not on a server. This is on your computer. So you can test, you can make a change on your computer and then you ship it up to production, which is cool. So that's working. Okay. But I guess what I want to first do is go back to our plan. I want to deploy it to Heroku. Before I even make any changes to it, this is cool, this is working. I want to get it live on a real server. So let's try it. I'm gonna do git checkout b main, and hopefully I'll run into some issues, but everything seems to be good here. So I'm gonna split this terminal and have a separate one here. Okay, branch name main already exists. Okay, so here we go. This is, I don't know, actually I don't even know what this is. I'm gonna say I'm trying to do step 5, deploy to Heroku. And this is the error I get. No worries, that means you're just already on a main branch and you created it before. So step 1, switch to the existing main branch. So I'll say git checkout main. Okay, cool, I'm already on main. I'm gonna say git push Heroku main. Okay, let's try it. Oh shit, it's working, no way. Okay, so what it's doing right now is it's deploying to the server, and it takes a minute. Again, I'm just watching it here, hanging out, and it's saying 404 not found. So that's interesting. The page you're looking for does not exist. Seems like something's working, but I'm getting a 404 not found. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT about that. I'm going to say, okay, I deployed to Heroku, and it was successful, but live, I'm now getting this error. And actually, I'm going to switch it up too, because one thing that I wanted to do and I forgot to do because I just don't even have that, but I want to actually have Cursor do this for us. So I'm going to actually do Command L, and I totally forgot about this, but Cursor has this agent feature. So I'm going to actually ask Cursor about it. So I'm going to say, so I deployed this to Heroku and it was successful, but on the server, it gives me this message. And I'm going to ask it to do it as an agent. And that means, I think, it just does it for you, which isn't always the best thing to do, but let's try it. So it's kind of letting me know this is a common error. And this is actually just a little better because you don't even have to go to ChatGPT anymore. You don't have to use Google to figure out the issues. You can just ask Cursor itself. So let's do that. So I think that's cool because I showed you guys, hey, you can do this in ChatGPT, but you can also do this in Cursor. So you actually don't even need Cursor if you don't want to pay for it, but I recommend using it. So it's telling me what I'm doing wrong. Let me check your proc file. Okay, let me also check your routes config. I can see a few potential issues. It's saying that I don't have a controller. And look, I'm not even like really reading all this right now, which is maybe for better or worse, a good thing, but it's still telling me stuff and I'm waiting. So it looks like what it did is it's creating controller, it's drawing new routes, and it's doing all the things that I would do that I had to spend years learning as a software engineer, and it's doing it. And now it's also gonna actually push it to Heroku. You guys, if you're doing this, hopefully you're doing this alongside with me, or at least trying it out. This is crazy. It's going to run all this. And I just say, accept all. Would you like me to help you run any of these commands? Or yes, I say yes. Make the file changes and run the commands. Let's see if it can do it. Let's commit and push the changes. Okay, so it wants me to actually run them. Git add, okay. It wants me, it's doing a commit for me. That's pretty cool. Run command. Wow. It made all the changes and it's actually just committing it up and making the changes. So in simple terms, I told it a problem that I had, it made the changes and it deployed the app automatically. I just had to click okay, and it did it. This is really like the beginning of AI agents. It's really not truly there yet. It could make a mistake and like there's more things that need to happen, but this is truly crazy. Let's see if it actually worked. Because basically I told it, hey, what I'm seeing here in the app is a 404 not found. I want to see like something that I can change and modify. So let's see. Now let's restart your dyno to make sure, okay, it wants me to restart it. So let's hit that. And it says it's done. Okay. So let's test it out. There it is. Welcome to AI Thumbnails Maker. I didn't tell it to write that. I just told it to get something on the screen. So, I mean, just to show you, let's try something again to say, okay, just to do that again, because I think it's just so cool. Can you center, this is just basic, it's obviously not what we're gonna do it. Can you center the text on the homepage and add a bunch of copy about why people should use my tool? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Sure, I'll update the homepage with center text and compelling copy about your thumbnail maker tool. And just to show you there, I mean, to show you that this is like real, we're gonna go to, I think it's home index. Yeah, this one here. This is the actual code that says, welcome to AI Thumbnails Maker. Your application is now running successfully. It's gonna go make some changes. Look, it already made all these changes. Whoa, my God, this is crazy. It's making all these changes. Let's see if it'll push it up live. And guys, we're gonna get into making the landing page and actually building the app too. But if you set things up right, then everything just becomes really easy, right? So, wow, it's giving me all this here. So I'm just gonna run this. It's deploying it. Okay. If I reload my basic app here, oh my God, this is what it's gonna be. It's not live yet. This is localhost 3000, but that's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but we're gonna make it look way better here. And nothing happens when you hit get started now. And now we're deploying this. It takes a few seconds to do it, but once it does, let's see if it's live and actually works. Okay, I didn't have to hit accept all, but okay. Let's reload. Let's see if it got it. Boom, there it is. This is live. This is crazy. Okay, let's go back to our plan because we need to actually build this thing. So let me go back to everything that I wanted to make sure that we do today, which is nailing the idea, branding the problem it solves, and creating the Hello World app with Cursor, Rails, and Heroku. Those are the main things that I wanted to do today. And I wanted to do it quickly to show you how fast we could do this. Obviously, I could have done it faster if I wasn't explaining things. And next time I do this, I could probably do it in 5 minutes. This is the power of AI tools. I'm gonna stop here and we may put more into this video. I may jump back in after I take my dog for a walk because he needs to go to the bathroom. But the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to actually add the basic feature. We're just gonna get it to work with a feature. We're not gonna have the domain set up. We're not gonna have the landing page too fancy or anything like that. It's just gonna do the one feature. That's what we're gonna build next. And then this should be done pretty fast. I'm gonna try to get Cursor to do this, but I'll save that for the next one. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Vibe coding until I make $100,000. Let's see what happens once I actually build this. Get it look good. Get it work good. Oh, that's not what I thought was gonna happen. I can ask ChatGPT, please help. It worked!